Hi there, you're welcome back to this section of my YouTube channel tutorial. So in this video, I'm going to take you through trigonometric function. Trigonometric functions. We've dealt with several types of functions in our previous lectures. So if this is the first time you have been on this channel, kindly subscribe and also please watch the video to the end. What are trigonometric functions? Trigonometric. What does it mean actually? So trigonometric functions are also called circular functions. Circular functions. So when we say trigonometric functions, it's simply the functions of the angles of a triangle. Okay, tri. So if you have an angle here, you have an angle theta, you have an angle phi. Okay, so the functions of this angle is what we call trig functions. Trig function for short. Okay, trig functions. So we have some fundamental trig functions, which is the cosine of a particular argument. You have the sine of a particular argument, then you have a tan of what particular argument, right? Yep. So as I was saying, trigonometric function is simply the functions of these angles in a triangle. So we normally use a right angle triangle as our point of reference. So it acts 90 here. There is a theta here, then there is a phi. Let's see, something like a phi here. So we have cosine, sine, and tan. So you can have tan theta, sine theta, or cos theta, or you get it. So let's say we have cos theta, sine theta, you have tan theta. So we have something called SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Okay. Now the cosine, whenever you say cosine of an angle, is given as the cosine is given as the adjacent, okay, adjacent over hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. When you say sine, sine is simply given as the opposite over hypotenuse, and the tan is given as so the tan is simply given as the opposite. Okay, so sorry, the sine is, so the tan is given as opposite over adjacent. Okay, adjacent, yes. So now where from this adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse, when you have a right angle triangle, the longest slanting side is what we call the hypotenuse. Sometimes it may not be the longest, but the side which is facing the 90 degrees is what we call the hypotenuse. Okay, the side facing the 90 degrees. Okay, then once you identify your hypotenuse, then you have the adjacent, okay, which is the side which is adjacent to the 90 degrees. Okay, then also you have the opposite. The opposite is simply opposite to the hypotenuse. Opposite. Okay, then you have adjacent. So first of all, the 90 degrees will show you the hypotenuse. Then the one opposite to the hypotenuse will show you the opposite. Then the the remaining one becomes the adjacent. Okay, so for short we say SOHCAHTOA, where this is opposite over what hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan is opposite over what adjacent, and that is a trig functions in brief. Okay, yeah. So we also have what we call the cosec of a function. Cosec of a function. Cosec is given as 1 over what sine of a function. So let me say cosec x, you have sine x. We also have sec x, which is also equal to 1 over cos x, right? And we have cot x. These are all derivative functions, which is equal to 1 over tan x. They are derivative functions from what we have originally here. They are derivative functions. So as we were doing in the previous lectures, let's find the domain of some of the trig functions and range. So the domain of, let's say, sine. What's the domain of sine? So I'll write it this way. So I have sine here. This is my domain, and this will be my range portion. So once I have sine, what's the domain of sine? Sine can take both positive and negative values. So the domain is a set of all real numbers. Take note. A set of all real numbers. Then the range is simply -1 to 1. You can never have any number less than what? -1. I mean, the maximum, should I say the maximum smaller number? No. So the least number you can get from sine is what? -1, okay? -1. Then the maximum number you can get from sine is what? 1. Actually 1. Take note of this. Then when you come to cos, cosine and sine follow the same thing. The domain is all real numbers, and this is -1, 1. So wherever you see sine and cos, irrespective of how it has been put, these are the range and the domain. Now what about tan? Tan is a set of all real numbers, but there are some few exceptions to make here. Okay, so for tan, we take out any pi on 2, that is 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees, we take every 90 degrees out of it. So now when you find tan of 90, you realize that it's infinite, so it's taken out from the domain. And because we have possible revolutions around the axis, we use this k here to represent the different revolutions at which our tan will be what? Infinite. Okay, so in short, our domain is simply r minus what? Pi on what? 2 plus k pi, where k is any integer. Okay, yep. Then now for tan, it gives all real numbers. That's one thing. After this discontinuity, it gives everything as an output. Everything as an output. So these are enough for your trig elementary course for the domain and the range of the what? Trigonometric functions. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Kindly subscribe, like, and share.